From around the age of 7 or 8, you incarnate. You are born into the body in its psychic form of separation and defense. The world of energies and imagination, emotions and dreaming becomes increasingly repressed as the physical, material world takes on more importance and more significance. Having emerged into the self-sense, the sense of self begins to marginalize other levels of experience, and dominant force eventually becomes I, me, myself, mine. And the material and substantial physical realm of existence becomes increasingly the only realm of existence and assumes exclusivity. When you deny or repress, what has been denied or repressed becomes only stronger, and it is like this with the realm of energy and emotion. The more this level of reality is ignored or denied, the more it causes restlessness and conflict and turbulence in your inner world. The more emphasis and focus is given to materialism, ambition, talent and ability in the outer world, and the subtle realms are ignored, the more the fire begins to spread in your inner world. While emotions and energies are dominant in the unconscious, the self-sense, the sense I, dominates in the conscious world. This vehicle of self now appears in a social milieu and interacts in ways that ensure its survival, and only afterward its growth and blossoming, when the needs of protection and survival are met. The early childhood was a period of development based on dependence. Survival has dominated your life as you emerged and left behind the ideal world of nature and unself-consciousness. The birth of I is a kind of fall. You fall, as it were, into the relative world, a world of change and sadness, of frustration and fear, a world in which the identity you have created in your attempt to survive becomes tested and contrasted and compared. A world in which you become finally merged with this identity, as if nothing existed, as if the identity was who you are. When emotions don't fit the defenses, they are discarded, or rather held inside, internalized, and forced into the unconscious. The unconscious increasingly becomes a repository for the undesirable feelings that no longer conform to the idea of who you are, no longer concur with your supposed identity. You become a half person, a split person, a fractured creature admitting and owning desirable parts of yourself only. Around the age of 9, you enter the realm of the adult world and here experience a great rebellion or conformism. One simply the complement of the other. They are responses to the same impossible circumstance. The parents, your conditioning, home life, religion, if that were a part of your upbringing, the parental guidance, the adult examples and models of behavior, and how to behave, act, do, and be in the world are now, for the first time, seen in a critical light. At last you see the flaws in the world around you and in the people who previously you may have idealized or perfected into figures and images of a single dimension. The good mother, your brave, strong father, your bullying brother, your loving sister. The heroes and the heroines of your near family and the ideals and principles for which they strive are now all open to discernment. Figures you idealized are now open to charges of hypocrisy, of moral corruption, of not walking their talk, as you search for something to trust, someone you can rely on in the adult world you are now becoming a part of. As the early childhood is a journey through the dependent state, so adolescence is an attempt to build a separate identity that is independent. It is a Pandora's box, of course, a human dilemma. Are we dependent? Are human beings dependent entities destined to spend their whole life in reliance and need on others, on events, on life and its inherent insecurity, some predictability and changeableness? Alternatively, are we, or can we be, independent, standing alone, capable of being autonomous without relying on others, sufficient unto ourselves without needing to trust or rely on anyone? The wisdom of our journey through life over the first 21 years will naturally crystallize into an expression of self and a demonstration of uniqueness and individuality at or around 21 years of age. Tragically, in the present world culture, which is influenced by extraordinarily unnatural forces, 21 is either the age of ignorance and conformism, or the age of turbulence and rebellion. Each is the flip side of the same coin, of course. The reason for this impossible outcome, impossible from the point of view of positive development, is that the themes of the early years of dependency and survival have no more been dealt with any more than the intense themes of the adolescent years. The tests and the lessons of early childhood are dependency, trust, security, punishment, blame, possessiveness, jealousy, and attachment. The tests and the lessons of adolescence are independence, betrayal, intimacy, philosophy, beliefs and opinions, making a stand, resistance, rebellion or conformism, self-worth, developing the I, and creating an identity. In between the two are the tests and the lessons of your life from approximately 7 to puberty: socialization, communication, mediating others' needs and desires, creating a sexual, gender and power-based identity, intimacy and relationship to individuals and to the collective. By the time you're 21, an enormous backlog has accrued. You are in a remedial state, and the tests and lessons of the 20s, which are now inexorably presented to you, look and feel overwhelming. At best, you enter the 20s with a significant disadvantage, rather resembling a great weight of confusion lying heavily on top of ignorance. So, looking back over your 20s, your life as a 20-something-year-old can be a sad time. It can be a time when a great promise was lost to you, and a course was set in life which became enormously difficult to counter or reverse. It is the course of suppressed truth, of ignorance, unawareness, and life drowsiness. The human being who does not encounter some life-transforming influence, a teaching, a teacher or a guide, human psychology in its more radical forms, or an innovative philosophy, or occasionally religion, is doomed to reenact the ceremonies and rituals of the material, physical and gross world, and to remain in that realm in a subconscious fear of illness, loss and death for the rest of their lives.